His new movie bombed at the box office. Yes, if you did not know, this is supposed to be the person that's supposed to be the future of Hollywood, the future of the movie industry. They keep shoving her down everyone's throats, but seems that Hollywood doesn't seem to willing to listen. The people don't like her. Same thing with Brie Larson. Throughout they tried to force her down people's throats. Say, hey, she's the next big person because he's a woke entertainer. Okay, but guess how much A24, which usually A24 movies usually make around $10 to $20 million, and A24 movies are usually loved by the people who watch them. Well, guess what? Guess what? Rachel Zegler managed to make this movie flop. So this movie only costed $15 million to make, and it only opened as 2.1 million. Okay, it seems that no one wants to see anything with Rachel Zegler in it. Okay, I bet if they had any other actors or any other person in it, this movie would have made way more money. Also, to the fact that it's not a part of a franchise, so it's not part of an existing property. Okay, already damages this movie's box office potential because most people are gonna want to see stuff that's familiar. Okay, which is why stuff like Deadpool or Wolverine made so much money, or Beetlejuice, or Twisters, or Moana 2 is because these are familiar series. Okay, but the problem is, well, if we want, and we always talked about this many times, Hollywood may run out of series to continue to bring back, and they're gonna be stuck in a hard place. But as of now, the money seems to be pretty good this year. However, the Y2K, or this new horror movie, could have easily became a new series. Okay, it could have easily became a new movie franchise, as A24 usually does these types of movies pretty well. Okay, but it seems that people do not want to see this movie. It released in 2000 theaters, and guess what? This movie made almost no money. Okay, it's because this movie had Rachel Zegler in it. That's why. Because people don't like her. Okay, Hollywood needs to find actresses and actors that people actually like if they want non-franchise movies to survive. Okay, the reason why non-franchise movies sold so well in the 90s and 2000s and 1980s is because if you had an actor that everybody liked, okay, there would be this movie would bring in a lot of money. Okay, for example, for a while, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, which was the last actor I think people would go see movies for, his movies would regularly open to 30 to 40 million and still do, like with Red One. Okay, Jim Carrey's movies would do very, very well at the box office. Arnold Schwarzenegger movies would, at least his good ones. Okay, of course it matters if the movie is good or bad, but usually if an actor is in it that people like and recognize, people are going to go see it regardless. Look at the late 2010s with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. There have been so many quote-unquote bad movies that he was in, but they made so much money because he was in the movie. Okay, because people wanted to see him. So they kept putting on more and more movies. Okay, and the same thing could be said with Jim Carrey. They kept putting in more and more movies because, people liked him. And another very controversial one was Adam Sandler. Okay, Adam Sandler was the king of non-franchise movies. Okay, you may like him or dislike him, but his movies were very, very successful. Unlike Rachel Zegler or Brie Larson, who they think that these are the actresses that people actually want to see in movies. These are the people that supposedly why everybody wants to see these people in the new movies. It just seems that's not how it works. Okay, people really, really don't like Brie Larson. I don't know what to say here, and that's what this. And same thing with Rachel Zegler. Okay, Cuckoo also opened for, and also movies like Bodies sold better legs, but it just seems that this movie people really don't like it. Rachel Zegler was a bad choice, and people are like, well, I had Rotten Tomatoes and didn't like it. Oh, no one cares what Rotten Tomatoes says. Okay, no one cares what Rotten Tomatoes says. It's the fact that people don't want to see a movie with an actress that nobody likes. Okay, Rachel Zegler is one of the most hated actresses in the past couple of years. Okay, and we're talking about new actresses. Okay, and actors. Okay, and really this past couple of years, there hasn't really been any notable actors or actresses, that really have made a splash, per se. Of course, the critics would say Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya are two people that people really like. But earlier this year, Zendaya released there was a Zendaya movie that released, and it made no money. It couldn't even break even. Okay, so but we're told that she's an actress that everybody likes. Totally because the movies that she appeared in weren't tied to huge characters like Spider-Man or a very popular book series called Dune. Saving Timothy Griffin being Willy Wonka. Oh yes, an already established IP that a lot of people already recognize and know, released during the holiday season. Okay, can he hold a non-franchise movie by himself without all of the fancy, oh, this is a sequel, this is a prequel, this is attached to a big name, this is a Star Wars, let's say Star Wars for example, it's a Star Wars movie, of course, but I think Hollywood needs to really figure this out. Because Hollywood really doesn't have any actors or actresses they could use. Yes, they do have like a bunch of legacy actors and actresses, but they'll gain old. Okay? They'll gain old. People are, you know, aging. Keanu Reeves is one of them. Okay? Another movie actor that everybody wanted to see. But he's like in his 60s now. Or almost in his 60s. Okay? Same thing with Johnny Depp, but Hollywood blacklisted him from all of the movies. When it's clear that people actually like Johnny Depp, but Hollywood took the side of Amber Heard, which is just ridiculous because Hollywood would rather lose money than take the side of a popular actor and, take his side. When they know it's clearly the obvious choice, only like 5% of people actually legitimately support Amber Heard. Okay? Like 5% of people. Hollywood's gonna, this is the problem with Hollywood. In the same thing with the gaming industry, they would rather appeal towards such a small minority of people, okay, that it's just not gonna make profit, okay? You can't appeal towards the 2% of the population or 5% of the population. Like, for example, the LGBT community. How much of a percentage of the population does the LGBT community make up? Okay, like 2% of the population? Like actual legitimate LGBT people, not people who are just doing it because of the trend or something, okay? Or because TikTok told them to, okay? Like actual genuine gay, lesbian, bi, or trans people, okay? Same thing with, Amber Heard supporters. Yes, they do make up a very small portion of the population, but you can't just blacklist an actor that almost 90%, 80 to 90% of people support. Okay? And this is Hollywood's problem. They make a bunch of really, really bad choices. Okay? Like, The Joker 2 is one example. Mega Man 2. They sort of took time and actually made that a full feature-length movie, what they did, but actually took time and effort. Because they know Mega Man had a resurgence online. Okay? They saw, hey, Mega Man has seen a resurgence online. This movie that we released 20 years ago, this movie has seen a resurgence online in memes because Mega Man was that type of movie. But they released a sequel, I think, to a streaming service, and they rushed it out as quickly as possible. Okay? The same thing can be applied with Moana 2. Okay? Disney rushed that movie as fast as possible to read a deadline. Okay? And the gaming industry does this type of stuff too with Sonic 06, Destiny, and a lot of games during the 2010s, to meet this deadline that we know. Instead of making, this is why Miyamoto's words is very important. A delayed product is eventually good. A rushed product is forever bad. At least in gaming, you can still patch stuff out, but the reputation still lingers. And especially with the movie industry. Okay, Moana 2 is going to be forever bad. Mega Man for the Doom Syndicate is going to be forever bad. Joker 2 is going to be forever bad because you can't fix a movie. You can't patch a movie out like a video game. Okay, so these movies ruined their own franchises. At least in Moana, they can at least fix it with a third movie, and if they put the time and effort into it. But kind of like the Michael Bay Transformers movies, it's going to harm the IP. Okay, and the best example of harming the IP because of unpopular choices is Star Wars, okay? Star Wars. Okay, Transformers will eventually be able to recover from the Michael Bay movies. From the negative reception those movies come from, okay? But Star Wars may not recover from Disney's horrible choices because you cannot fix that stuff. The best way Disney could do handling Star Wars is to retcon the sequel trilogy and act like it never happened. Retcon all of Disney Plus shows besides The Mandalorian, obviously, because that's the only Disney Plus, that's the only thing Disney created that people actually liked. Okay, and maybe tie in those Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order games into the actual Star Wars canon, because people actually like those games, and get rid of the Acolyte, get rid of, Obi-Wan Kenobi, get rid of, actually, you can keep the Rogue One stuff because I think people actually liked Rogue One, but it's just Andor. It's not a very popular character as most people when they think of Star Wars, they think of the actual classic characters, okay? You can still make new characters and make them work. Look at The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian characters are popular. They're still everywhere. Do you see Reva everywhere? Do you see the lesbian space witches everywhere from The Acolyte? No, you do not, because no one wants those characters, okay? They can make new Star Wars characters and make them work. Because it's part, The Mandalorian proved it. Forward Order. People like the characters from that game. Okay, and heck, Rogue One, even though Rogue One's characters are not as popular as Forward Order's characters, or especially the Mandalorian, it can still be added new characters and make them work. For example, yes, the Marvel too. There's so many Marvel characters, okay, they could use. There's so many, lesser known characters. Look at the Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy will not be a household name if Marvel didn't bring him into the MCU, okay? Same thing, there's so many characters with so much potential. Yes, there's always be characters that will be more popular than others. For example, Miss Marvel is not as popular as Captain America. That will never happen. And there are people who do like Miss Marvel as a character, but you have to realize a majority of people really don't care for her, okay? And that's just the reality, okay? Same thing with any sort of character. And of course, he could have used the Nintendo approach and just use the same characters over and over again, but people might make even then Nintendo even said, yeah, you know what, we could at least add a few new characters, like a few new original characters in the newer games, to spice things up, okay? And with Star Wars is only a complete story. You can only add on to like the but I think if they did actually make the sequel, I think they should really redo the sequel trilogy and get rid of all the sequel characters and actually make good characters. Make new characters that actually people like. Make characters that, if they really want to, they can make a new sequel trilogy and make it connect with the Mandalorian. A show that everybody likes. Okay? A show that was very popular. But yep, I think we're done with this video, and goodbye.